All right. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be drawing the Flastwoods monster, and while we draw him, we're going to be talking about him. Because I call myself a crypto guy. What? That too. I meant cryptid guy. Cryptid fool through and through. I love him. But I'm not that familiar with the Flastwoods monster, unfortunately. I hate to admit it. I'm a poser through and through. But, yeah, man, we're going to be learning about him together. So let's get into it. All right, sit back, throw in a 6 milli lit pilly, and imagine this with me, will ya? You and your buddies are just hanging out on a normal evening, nothing crazy, cracking open some cold ones even. And suddenly, a bright object streaks across the sky, and a brown object streaks across your bridges, and crashes into the hills nearby. You and a group of people decide to go check it out, because you're buffoons, why not? And instead of finding a meteor like you'd assume, you come face to face with something that does not look human, does not look animal. It's tall, it's glowing, it's almost mechanical. And then you feel a dampening in your underpants. But that's exactly what happened in West Virginia, in Flastwoods, West Virginia, in 1952. And today we're going to draw this fool, and we're going to break down what actually happened, talk about the sightings, and who and what this fool could have been. First things first, though. What even is the Flastwoods monster, you might be asking? And that's a good question. The Flastwoods monster, also known as Braxton County Monster, doesn't really roll off the tongue. Anyway, who am I to judge? He's one of the strangest cryptid UFO cases ever reported in the U.S. The description of this fool is where things get even weirder. Around 10 feet tall, so about the same height as me, had a spade-shaped or ace of spades head, glowing eyes, a body that looked almost like a metal dress or suit. Not very intimidating. And it didn't walk normally. It glid. Okay. Some people even described it as looking robotic, like armor, not skin. And the most unsettling detail, the smell. Oh no. They said the area had a strong, sickening odor, like burning metal or sulfur. Demon, isn't burning sulfur which isn't that a dead giveaway that it's a dementoid, a demon, if you will? Bunch of rookies. So right away, this thing doesn't fit into a normal category. It's not just a monster. It feels like something in between. Alien, machine, and something ancient at the same time. All right, so what the flip actually happened that night? On September 12th, 1952, allegedly a group of boys were outside playing when they saw a bright object streak across the sky and land on a nearby hill. Naturally, they did what anyone would do. They went to investigate. They grabbed a couple adults, including a local woman and a National Guardsman, and headed up the hill. And this is where things take a turn. As they approached the area, they noticed a pulsing red light in the distance. Then, their dog ran ahead and suddenly started barking aggressively. Bad sign. When they got closer, they saw a tall figure standing there, not moving like a human would. And they described it of having a glowing face, a hood or head shaped like a spade, and a body that looked like it was made out of a metal fabric. And then, this is important, it made a sound, a hissing sound. And either moved toward them or shifted in a way that terrified them. And at that point, they ran. They booked it, baby. They boogied out of there. Everyone ran, but it didn't end there. After the encounter, several of them reported burning eyes and sore throats. Some felt actually physically sick, and the smell lingered in the area for quite some time after. Authorities later investigated and found no creature, no ship, nothing concrete, just a story. Real convenient, authorities, real convenient. But a story told by multiple people who all describe the same thing, and that is why we know of this story today. Here's what makes the Flastwood monster case different than most cryptid stories. A lot of cryptids are animals like Bigfoot or creatures that could exist biologically. But this feels engineered. The details don't line up with anything natural. The gliding movement, the metallic appearance, the gas or smell causing physical symptoms. It almost sounds like a spacesuit, a spaceman, an astronaut, or some kind of a protective suit around a being. Or even weirder, something that isn't biological at all. more like a machine or a drone controlled by something else, or a demon. It's one of the few cases where people don't say, I saw a monster. They say, I saw something that should not exist. So what are the actual explanations here? There are a few main ones. This one's absurd. Get ready for this. The "it was just an owl" theory. Some skeptics say the witnesses saw a large owl sitting on a tree with light reflecting off it. But that doesn't explain the size, smell, physical symptoms, or the consistent description across multiple people. 2, let me just say though, number 1 is by far my favorite explanation. That's legendary. These people are claiming they saw an actual monster, and fools are like, nah, it's just a owl. How fucking rude. You guys will probably guess it. A military or experimental craft. 1952 was during the Cold War. Some people think it could have been a secret test, a crash, or some kind of experimental tech. That would explain the metallic look, the gas or chemical smell. But then the question becomes, why a 10-foot figure? You know what I mean? Why is it so big? All right, but the third explanation is an extraterrestrial encounter. This is the most popular theory, obviously, that they saw wasn't a creature, but some kind of advanced suit, which would explain the glowing, the movement, the strange design, and the physical effects. At the end of the day, though, gang, the Flastwoods monster sits in this weird space between reality and something else. It's not just a campfire story. It's a moment where a group of people all looked at the same thing and walked away with the same fear. Not fear of an animal, like an owl, but something they couldn't understand. And maybe that's what makes it so unsettling, because whatever they saw that night, it wasn't just hiding in the woods. It felt like it came from somewhere else entirely. So what do you think? I think it's out there. I think all cryptids are out there. I'm not going to be the guy. I'm not going to be the skeptic who tries to bust the case here. So if you're asking me, the Flastwoods monster is in fact out there, and he's about as alien as they come. But anywho, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned.